There's been a lot of talk online about this vehicle being unsafe, and quite a few people sharing their personal accounts of the vehicle just shutting down, middle of the road, just whacking on the brakes and just putting itself in park and not moving. So let's talk about why this Leapmotor C10 is doing that and what we can do to try and work with the issue. Now, straight off the bat, I'm just going to say this issue hasn't occurred with my vehicle. Some people are speculating it's a certain batch that has been affected with this. Some people are speculating it's a hardware issue. Others are saying it's just a software issue. Now, from what I can glean online, there's a few approaches to this and a few things you can do to get your vehicle going again if you are hit with the dreaded V2L discharge issue. Now, first of all, what is V2L? Vehicle to load. You can see it up here on the menu. If you go into the charging of the settings, go to V2L. Shows me currently my battery in the vehicle 84%, and it will allow me to use the V2L adapter until the battery gets down to 20%. Now, some people are saying all you need to do is raise that up to the maximum every time you start the vehicle, and then the vehicle will not allow it to go into V2L shutdown. Others are saying that's not true. They're saying that they have taken this precaution and the vehicle has still shut down. The most prevalent theory is it's to do with moisture in this connector itself. They're saying that you pull this bung off, and whilst you're charging, this bung sits down there and it collects a load of water, and you push that back on there. Somehow the water is bridging these pins and tricking the vehicle into thinking that it has a V2L adapter connected. So many people say if it happens to you, get your charge cable out, plug it in and out of the connector a couple of times, plug it in, lock the vehicle, wait for 20 minutes, unlock the vehicle. And by doing so, plugging these in, it will kind of reset the connector. The connector will no longer think that there's an adapter in there, and then you will be on your way. However, plenty of people have reported they've tried that and no joy at all. Now, allegedly, under this foam is the battery controller module, and all you need to do is unplug that control module, and that is the component that thinks that we've got a V2L adapter connected. So pull these little pins out, get into the module, unplug the module, cycle the vehicle, turn it off, turn it on, and away you go. Now, whilst I wanted to educate myself on all of these various approaches and keep up to date with how many people are being affected by this issue, I went ahead and did something a little bit different. I actually got myself a V2L adapter, and hopefully this would be the thing that could really get you out of trouble if the worst were to happen. So what is this device? Well, on one end, it fits into the charging port, and on the other end is a 3-pin plug so that you can plug in appliances. And importantly, I bought one that had the switch on it. Okay, so let's try it out together, and I'm told that this is the correct type that I would need. And this one on it, it says it's for an MG ZS, or it works with an MG4. It doesn't work with my pre-facelift MG5, that's for sure. So let's give it a go. At the moment it's saying V2L connector not connected, and now we've got some animation here. Oh, sorry, it's the worst light. And it tells me it's discharging. So this is effectively what happens to people. The car goes into this mode. So let us go and plug an appliance in. According to the internet, this C10 has got really strong V2L, and we should have no problem with a 3.6 kilowatt output on the inverter. So I'm going to go straight in for the big guns. I'm going to plug in my 3.5 kilowatt Kettle and see how it likes that. We're on 84%. Okay, well, when I press the switch in, I can hear the charge point lock in. And then if I press the switch again, it unlocks that port. So this could well work in a situation where it's locked out. The kettle is boiling. Okay. Shouldn't really be holding the kettle, should I? But the cable's a bit too short. Should have brought an extension lead out. Okay, that's it. Kettle boiled. Well, we didn't even lose 1% boiling the kettle, and we know that it seems to work. Now, I can't say for certain that this will resolve the problem if you're in a panic situation, but what I can say is I bought this myself off Amazon. This is not a sponsored video, and this is £30. And I think for the chance that this may resolve the issue, it's well worth getting one. And of course, you've got the utility of then being able to access 70 kilowatt hours of battery storage for whatever you may need. If you've got a power cut, for example, you could run an extension lead to the car and then you could power your fridge or, you know, home emergency things. I think it's 30 quid well spent. And whilst I have been offered loads of these in the past, this one is a proper dedicated UK plug. The ones that have got those generic plugs, well, they definitely don't carry the BS standard on them. And the plugs, our UK plugs, never seem to fit them perfectly. So I wanted to go with this one, and I wanted to go with the one with a switch. So as soon as I pressed the switch and unplugged it, the discharging issue went away, disappeared over here, and it just tells me V2L connector not connected. I'll put a link for this in the description, and let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think I'm barking up the wrong tree, or do you think that this is a sensible thing to chuck in the boot and it's just a good accessory to have? And I guess it's nice that at least it works with MG and with Leapmotor, so it's potentially you might be able to take it to your next vehicle with you. Thank you for watching. As always, if you're interested in more Leapmotor content, then subscribe to the channel. I've got a dozen or so videos that are currently in the works, and you will get them shortly. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.